Welcome to the 24th tutorial in Python. In this video, we're going to take a look at Python lists and how they can help you to organize your data way more better. Hello everyone, it's me Sairam and I'll be your host for today. In Python, a list is like a toolbox, a collection of items neatly packed in one variable. It can hold almost anything: numbers, strings, booleans, and even other lists. This example, it's a list of strings. Each one is an item, ordered and easy to access. Imagine trying to manage a grocery list where every fruit had its own variable. Lists fix that. As you can see, fruits is equal to apple, banana, and cherry. And when we run it, it runs it properly. Now, how do we get data from a list? We use that by using its index. Just like grabbing a tool from your own toolkit. Know the position and get it out. Remember, Python starts counting at 0. So, fruits 0 means the first item, which is apple. So when we run it, as you can see, it prints apple in the output. And if you wanted something from the end, you don't have to type 2. Python's got you. Negative indexing lets you count backward. If you can see, -1 means the last one. So when you run this, you can see cherry. This is perfect when you don't know the exact size of the list, but always need the last item. You'll get the same output too, even if you type 2, because apple is 0, banana is 1, and cherry is 2. So when you run it, as you can see, it once again prints cherry. Now, lists aren't static, they are mutable. You can change them on the fly. Want to swap out banana for a blueberry? Just do this. Write the index of banana and put the value you want. When you run it, it has changed. So now if I were to type print fruits, you can see the output. It's apple, blueberry, and cherry. This is how you grow your list. Or you want to insert something in the middle. This kind of flexibility is widely used. They adapt to your data. Now, let's say you want to add something to the end of your list. This is where you're going to use append. So when you run this, yes, it ran it properly. So now when you print fruits, it adds orange to the list. Now, what if you wanted to add something in the middle? This is where you use insert. So we will type the index where we want it to be. So we want it to be where banana is. But unlike last time where we completely removed banana and put blueberry, we just want to put it in the middle. We want banana to be there in the list. So when we run this, it ran properly. And now when you want to see our output, print fruits. Now when you run it, as you can see, apple, kiwi, banana, and cherry. It did not remove banana. Now, let's remove items from our list. Removing items is quite easy. We use the remove function. And if you know the value, you can just put it in here. Now, you must be thinking, what is pop? Well, if you use pop without any value inside, it'll just remove the last item. But let's say you're very, very specific about what you want to remove, at what index position what you want to remove is, but you don't know what it is. That time you're going to use fruits.pop, the pop function, and you're going to write down the index number. So when we run this, as you can see, it removed apple, and it removed and it popped out cherry. It removes the last item. And it tries to remove apple, but thing is, 0 does not exist anymore. Therefore, we only get banana. But if I were to remove this line, then we can see the pop at its fullest. As you can see, once again, we get banana apple. Now, lists really shine when they're paired with loops. Want to process each and every item? Just loop. This line of code will go through your list, one item at a time, and do something with each. It's clean, readable, and incredibly efficient. We'll use what we learned last time, which is the for loop. So now when we run the code, as you can see, apple, banana, and cherry. Sometimes you just want to check whether an item is there in your list. The in function gives you that yes or no answer instantly without looping. It's simple, readable, and fast. When you run it, as you can see, it prints, we've got bananas. It goes through every single value in the list, and once it finds banana, it executes print, we got bananas. Let's say you want to organize your list. Python makes sorting effortless. Sorting helps you when you're displaying data or preparing for analysis. Reversing is useful for leaderboard type data or logs. Both modify the list directly, so use them when you're okay with changing the original. When you run it, let's remove this and let's put print numbers. Now when you run it, as you can see, 1, 1, 3, 4, 5, 9. It's put it in ascending order. Now, let's say you want to put reverse, and then you run it. As you can see, it put it in descending order, 9, 5, 1, 4, 1, 3. What if you don't want your whole list? You only need a specific section of your list. Slicing lets you carve it up. Slicing gives you a portion, starting at the first index and stopping before the second. Think of it like cutting a cake. Start at slice 1 and end just before slice 3. So first you want to put down your index number, which is, in this case, you want banana and cherry. So the index of banana is 1 and cherry is 2 and date is 3. But if you put 1 colon 2, you'll only get banana. Because Python, it minuses this value. So it becomes 1:1, which is just banana. But if you want cherry, which is 2, you need to put the index one more value over. Therefore, you have to put 1:3. Then only will you get banana and cherry. Python lists are limited to one type. You can mix data types or even nest other lists. This is powerful, but be careful. Nested structures can get complex fast. Use them when you need structured data, like a grid or a matrix. When you run it, as you can see, it runs it properly. Let's say you're building a simple grading tool. You stored your items or scores in a list, calculated their sum, and divided by the number of entries. When we run it, as you can see, the average score is 88.5. It's simple math, but thanks to lists, it's also very clean and very fast. If this video helped you finally understand Python lists, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button.